Hey, my name's Rajesh. I'm a direct lender based in Los Angeles, and today we'll be looking at 856 West 47th Street and seeing how we can turn $350,000 into $8.9 million. Let's get into it. 4 unit for 1.4, 8.14% cap rate. Let's see what that's going for. Yeah, let's take a look at this. This one looks interesting because interest rates on 1 to 4 units are generally lower than interest rates on 5+ units. And looking at the cap rate and the gross rent multiplier, this might be promising. Let's see here if they have, and they have an offering memorandum, which is good. I don't want to download that. Photos look like they're in pretty decent condition, so we should be able to get a pretty decent rate for this with 3 vacant units. So they've got 3 vacant units here, but on 1 to 4 units we don't really care about the number of vacancies. We can use market rents. Alright, so here's the annualized operating summary. I'm going to make this full screen, and now we're going to start with the analysis. So let's break out the calculator. Let's break out the notepad, the sketch pad, or Macromedia Flash for all of you who remember that. So let's see here. Real estate taxes 1.25. They're saying $850 per unit, which is not bad. 3,400. This looks like it is. Repairs and maintenance 500. I'm trying to figure out if these are per month or per, yeah, these are annualized. Okay, 300, blah blah blah. Total expenses 30,000 a year. What is my effective gross income? They're using a vacancy reserve of 5%, so 143. What is my NOI? Let's see if maybe they have it here. No. They got the average rents over there. All 3-bedroom, 2 baths. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to go with 143 or 151 200. So this purchase price is 1.7 million. We're looking at 4 units, 3 vacant units. We're going to assume, well, I'm going to use market rents, and one of the programs we have will count the vacant units rent at 100%. Sometimes they only count it at 75%, which is why you have this vacancy discount here. But the program I'm thinking of right here would count the full market rent. So let's see here, 151 200 divided by 12 gives us 12,600 a month. All right. So property taxes, let's see here, 17,500. That's close to it. 17. Well, let's see, 771. So, whoops. 17,500 divided by 12. This should be 1448. Oh, this is 1.4 million, not 1.7. That explains it. let's switch these around. All right, landlord insurance, they are saying 850 per unit. So they're trying to downplay the cost of it. 8 times 4 is 3,400. All right, we'll go with 3,400 divided by 12. So 283. And let's see everything else. We're looking at administrative 300, repairs and maintenance. And you guys can't see it behind my head. So let's see. No, that doesn't make it any better. But I will do this. I will take a screenshot and paste it here. So now I can move it. So here we have electric, gas, sewer, trash, contract, reserves, contract services, and reserves. So electric is 300 a year. Where is this thing? 300 divided by 12 is 25. And then we have gas. Gas is 150, 12.5 per month. Water is, they don't have water. Yeah, sewer water, 350. 50 divided by 12 is 29.16. Trash is 300. 25. Property management. What are they saying property management is? They're going to count that as administrative and contract services. So that's probably like legal. 300 is administrative. So 300 divided by 12 is probably self-managed. That is why. Maintenance and repairs, they are saying 500 per year. So it's a well-maintained building, and they probably have their own in-house handyman. Let's see, pest control. Pest control is probably combined with league contract services. So let's say 200 divided by 12 is 16. So let's say 8.33. Legal 8.33. Advertising 0. And that means our net operating income is 10,685. And let's see if these numbers make sense, okay? So we're going to take this gross income right here, 151,200, and subtract it from 29,700. 29,700 minus, oops, let's start that again, 143,640 minus 29,700. That's 113,940 divided by 12. That's 94.95. 94.95 per unit. Whoops. Why do I keep doing that? I'm getting 10,685. How? So let's see here. Oh, right, I use this. I got to use scheduled gross rent. Okay, so 151,200 minus 29,700. That's 121,500. Divide that by 12. I get 10,125. 10,685. That's pretty close, but still not quite the difference here. So what's going on? So 151,200 divided by 12. 12,600. That's correct. Minus 651 200 divided by or minus 29700. Oh right, these are per unit. I use the per unit numbers. Now I see what I did. Okay, so administrative is 1200, so that's 100 a month. Administrative 100. Then we got repairs and maintenance is 2000 per year, so 2000 divided by 12, 166. Now utilities, 1200 for electric, so that would be 100. Then we got gas at 600, so 50. Water is 1400, so a little over 100 per month, 116.66. And then we have trash, which is 1200 also, so 100 a month. Then we have contract services, which is 800, so 66.67. So let's see here, this is 33, this is 33. Reserves 400, they are taking 400 roughly. So 400, let's apply that in advertising. 400 divided by 12 is 33. Yeah, that was pretty much where we are at. So for something like this, we're actually looking at closer to maybe 7.125 at a 1.0 DSCR ratio. At a 1.35 DSCR ratio, we might actually get closer to 6.5, 6.375. Okay, so let's see here. If you have tax returns, you can go bank loan on this. If you're willing to buy down the interest rate, and during a purchase, I always recommend it because you can always get the seller to pay for it, you can get as low as 5.75. And now you're saving $70,000 on the down payment. Here you're at 280, here you're at 350. Okay, and this is with the same purchase price, 1.4 million. So let's see what this property looks like in 30 years. Looks like it's two buildings, 856 and 858. They have two addresses there. And if you look at the zip code here, it's the same property same zip code we analyzed yesterday. So I'm going to use the same economic conditions, which is, yearly appreciation and yearly and rental inflation. So yearly appreciation is at 6% per year and rental inflation is at 5% per year. We were going to use 5.75% interest rate, and we're going to leave it. We're not going to do any improvements because it looks like it's already been recently remodeled, and yeah, it's been recently remodeled. Unless you were going to add ADUs, it doesn't really make sense to remodel something that was already remodeled and not really get the value that or the increase in value that you were seeking. So market rents here are $31.50. So we're going to use that here, $31.50. And we're looking at a DSCR ratio, and we're using an 8% vacancy and 8% property management fee. First, I'm going to zero these out so that I can make sure all these other numbers are correct once inputted. We said that, let's see here, what is $3,400 a year for insurance. Legal was done at, let's see here, $33 a month. Or let's see here, 33 times, I did it again, 33.33 times 12, that's 400 a year. So we're saying, and then 400 for pest control. What are we saying for trash? Trash is 1,200 a year. No, these are all monthly based, so I got to go for with these 33. And then we are going with gas, which is 50. What is water? What is water? 117 or 6.67. And then we are saying lawn and snow, probably part of, let's go to HOA trash removal, that's 100. Pest control was 33. We said reserves for advertising was also 33. So we're only really missing lawn and snow. Let's take a look at the property. So it doesn't really look like they have much gardening to worry about other than these two things, and they're probably included with the maintenance fees. And my maintenance fee is $346 a month here. Oh, here it is $166. So this will probably be 1.375. That's probably, that's still, let's see, 1.25. A little bit too low. 1.275. There we go. And so we're going to put lawn and snow at 0. Now that we have that, we can increase this to property management, vacancy 8%. And again, this is not the underwriting part. This is what would say, hey, this is the loan you qualify for. We'd underwrite it, we'd approve it. What I'm looking at here is whether this is a good investment or not. Whether it makes sense to invest in this property. So here is net operating income, $105,000 your first year, $111,000 your second year. If you're self-managing, you save on, you can add another $11,000 to your bottom line roughly every year. As far as cash flow goes, you're cash flowing your first year, $31,000 your first year. That is just a little bit less than $3,000 a month. So 31,154 divided by 12. So that's $25,996 your first year. Second year, you're at $36,000. Fifth year, you're at $54,000. 30th year, you're at $376,000 a year. Now, if you were to take all that money, put it in a bank account, and it never picked up interest, it just was sitting there. After 30 years, all of that money added up, you're looking at $4.65 million, which is really nice, especially comparing to the other buildings I reviewed recently, which added up to about $3 million or $2 million, somewhere in that range. And now here comes the real magic, which is your exit. So, well, let's start with net income. So you can write off your mortgage interest. You can write off the building depreciation. Now, if you're about getting rid of taxable income, you can do that here. Like year 5, you're going to be paying taxes on this particular building at about $8,000. That's not your that's the taxable income from this property, $8,000. 10th year you're looking at 45, 30th year you're looking at 334. So by year 5 you're already generating enough profit to be taxed on it, which for some people is a problem. Let's see here. Let's look at the net equity. So if you were to sell it at the end of the 2nd year, you're already making a profit. Not much. You're going to profit about $18,000. That's your exit. But considering some of the other buildings we've looked at which don't turn positive until their 10th year, that's pretty incredible. So year 5 you're looking at 126. Year 10 you're looking at 455. 30th year, if you sell on your 30th year, you're looking at and you take all that cash flow you've saved up in that separate bank account and add it to what you would get after selling the building, you're looking at roughly $9.4 million. That's a 2,500% return on your money, or a 26x return on your money. You're 26xing your money, which is pretty good. This is the DSCR ratio 1.54 based on current rents. So this is a really good building both for cash flowing and for appreciation, in my opinion. And thanks to California's laws, you might be able to add an ADU. Let me see what this building looks like in terms of the lot and everything. So you've got side entrances here. They're nice looking. I can definitely see these getting $3,100 a month in this area, in this part of town. Not a big fan of the boob lights, but it is what it is. Now see, if I was the landlord on this, I'd go through and paint these just so I could get nice white grout over there as well, rather than showing that mold. So I'd put some sort of mold killer, some sort of primer, sand it down, and then repaint it. And this is wood right here. There's no excuse for this. This one looks really nice. Nice bathroom, nice fixture. See, that's a nice light, LED. Nice recessed lighting here, good flooring. Yeah, these can definitely pull that kind of rent in this part of town, especially since they're, what, 3 bedrooms each? Yeah, 4 3-bedroom, 2-bath units. So that's literally like $1,000 a bedroom per month. So yeah, this is a good property, and this is just buying it and holding it, you know. Now let's say you want to pull your original investment out of $298,000. When would you do the refi? That's the question. So what you're going to do is take the equity and add it to your original equity and injection of roughly $300,000, and add it to the purchase price. Whoops, this is the problem. I entered this wrong. So let's reanalyze this at the correct price. Okay, so now your cash flow is lower, but you're still cash flowing from year 1, which is awesome. Now, for those who care about tax write-offs, you do get until the 10th year before you get to before you have to start paying taxes on the building. The first 5 years show losses. Year 10 shows a $2,500 profit. So that means up until year 9, you're probably writing off everything. and showing negative income over there. Year 30, you're showing 273,000 in income. As far as cash flow goes, you were not showing 4.6, you're showing 3.5, and your exit is not 9.45 million, it's 7.5 million. So the cash on cash return is 1466, or 15x your original investment, versus the the 26x that I originally thought. But my bad. So now that we have, let me get rid of this loan amount here as well. So that's definitely going to improve things. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah. Oh, great. Now our cash flow goes up significantly again. So this is how important it is to get the numbers right. Your cash flows back up to 31,000 your first year, which was roughly 2,500 a month. Your cash flow, if you were to add it all up and never touch it, you're looking at 4.286, roughly 4.3 million. You can start write-offs, or you start paying income tax year 5 roughly at 3,200 net income. So you're going to pay taxes on the 3,200, 3,300. Your exit year 5. Not your second year, your 5th year, you'd be able to sell it. You're going to walk away with $5,000 in hand, not really worth it, but it's a possibility. Your 30th year, however, you're looking at a $9 million exit. That means you're selling it for roughly 7.585 million. Of that, if you were to take away your original mortgage payments and everything, you're looking at $5 million in just equity. Then you add the cash flow to that, you take away the realtor commissions, you're looking at $9 million, $9.1 million. That's an 1,800% return on your money, or 19xing your original investment. 19xing, almost 20xing your original investment. So that's pretty good still. Let's see when would be the best time to refi. So we're going to take that original principal balance, your original 25% down, and again I screwed up here. We're only doing 20% down on this. I'm actually going to increase it to 25. So we're looking at $350,000. So let's increase this to 25, and let's see what this looks like now. Cash flows, you're still cash flowing year 1. That's 26,000 a year, 27,000. Now your net income between year 5 and 10, so I'm going to guess year 6, your exit is 8.9 million, and you're 21xing your money, 2,045% return, cash on cash return, 21xing your money, because you're putting less money in, yet you're still getting the full benefit of the increased value. So that's called leverage, and that's the benefit of using financing. Because let's say you did, let's say you did 100% down, right? Let's look at your exit here. It's $11 million, but you put in $1.4 million. Your cash on cash return is 768%, or around 8xing your original investment. So you 8x'd your $1.4 million. I don't know about you, I'd rather 21x my money rather than 8x my money. So if you were to buy 4 buildings like this, and you 21x'd your money, right? So let's see, 21 times 1.4 million, you're walking away with $29.4 million, as opposed to $11 million by just buying this building cash. So that's the difference between leverage and buying something in cash. So these weren't quite 9.4 or $9 million, but $8.9 million, that's pretty close, especially for a $350,000 investment. And now to get this building for free, to turn it into free, you just add the property value at the time of purchase plus $350,000, which is your original down payment. So we're looking at $1.75 million, 175, and divide that by 0.75. And so now you're looking at this would be the price at when you want to do your cash out refi to pull your original cash out and still walk away with a profitable building. So we're looking at year 10 roughly. So year 10 comes along, this is the time to refi because it needs to be $2.3 million, and here it is $2.5 million. So if we were to replug in these numbers, right, and we're doing a 75% cash out refi, 75% LTV. So let's see, 2507186.78, and then we go, that stays the same, and now we're going to increase all these numbers here to match. So this would give us another 30 years on it, but now we have zero equity in there. In year 10, the rent is 4886.68. Year 10 here is property management is wrong here. No, that was right actually. Yeah, that was right. Property management is right. Property taxes is right. So now we got to update all the figures in yellow by using the ones from year 10. We're going to go 45, 49.92, then we're going 44.60, 802.93, 1873.55, 963.51, and this ensures that we get the expenses correct at the time of refi. 535.23, 535.23, and these are percentage based, so these have already been updated automatically. And if you look at it, your cash flow, your net operating income is still positive. Let's see what it is as far as cash flow goes. So cash flow here, you are negative your first year from 47,000, 42,000, 23,000, and then sometime between the 5th year and the 10th year it turns positive. So we're looking at gaps of roughly 5,000 here. So this would probably be year 7 before you turn cash flow positive. So let's see what that looks like, right? So that we know the cost of the cash out refi, because even though you pulled out your original $350,000, you're still having to pay for it in terms of the negative cash flow for at least 6 years. So we got to figure out years 3, 4, and 6. So year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7, year 8, year 9, and year 10. So we're at 47,700 roughly. Year 2 is 42,100. And these are logarithmic, meaning it's not going at a steady rate, but we can pretty much guess what's going to happen between it, right? 323, and then year 10, these are all negatives. And then year 10, we're looking at 15,669. So somewhere between here and here, the cash flow turns positive. So let's see, this is going down at roughly 5,600. So let's see, what if this was 37 or 36,500, and this was another 6,000 right here, or another 5,000, so probably 30,900, I want to say. So does that add up right here? 30,900 minus 23,323, that's 75,77. So no, that's probably too big a jump. So let's say 36,000, right? And this would be, well, maybe 35,000. And this is probably 29,000. And you see I revised my numbers downwards. So that means I'd be losing less money. So let's actually stay with the original estimates. So 36,500, because this means I'm losing more money and I want to be conservative in my estimates. So let's see here, another 5,000, maybe. Let's see here, 28,000, 400, sorry, 18,400, somewhere over there. Then we're looking at maybe another 5,000, let's say 6,000 this time, 12,400, then another 6,000, so 6,000 right here, and then we're finally maybe $2,000 loss over there. So 9 years of just straight losses after pulling your cash out. So now we're going to add this up and compare it to the 350 that we pulled out and see if it was worth it. Minus 42,100 minus 36,500 minus 3,900. No, this is all, so we got to add this up. 47,700 plus 42,100 plus 36,500 plus 3,900 plus 23,323 plus 18,400, 12,400 plus 6,000 plus 2,000. So that's $219,000. So you pulled out $350,000, right? So now that goes back in your piggy bank. And then you have to pay out roughly $220,000, right? Sad piggy. So that's $130,000 profit. After the refi. Okay, but your increase on the payout 30 additional years also is 10.6 million. So we were looking at let me see here what happened here. Yeah, 10.6 million. We were originally looking at 8.9 million pre-refi, and now we're looking in 30 years. Now we're looking at 10.623 million. Let's just leave it at that. In 40 years, because the new loan is also going to be 30-year loan, but then you're also going to add this $130,000 to it. So you're looking at roughly 10.73 million in 40 years. So you're looking at an additional 1.8 million in 10 years. Is that worth it? Only you can honestly answer that question. For me, I would walk away with this 8.9 million and just leave my money in there. But different strokes for different folks, right? It's all good. No judging here at all. But that's just my analysis of this property. And yeah, I mean, you're looking at this as a 13.77 or a 1,300 or almost 1,400 percent return, cash on cash return, a 15x on your money. Whereas if you just stayed at the original 1.4 without pulling any cash out here, we're at a 21x. So this would be a 16x, and this is a 21x return on your money. So it's really up to you at this point. That's my analysis of this property.